Hey, I hope y'all are doing great. So, I just want to have like a little heart to heart in this video. So, one thing that I appreciate from just any person, anybody that meets me for the first time, is the time taken out to get to know me as a person. That's something I appreciate. And that's something that I try to just exchange with people, that I try to be that same person. Now, I know I failed a couple of times. I have. But I am learning, continue to grow, that it is best to just sit down and get to know the person. Because I never like when a person base you off what someone else said, some gossip, some made up stories about you, lies, or even stereotypes, because that can be very just hurtful. That a person will not take time out to get to know you, but they rather just go off history or go out what someone else says instead of getting to go to you and get to know you. So it brings it back to, just, we're in Black History Month, and it made me think about just us as Black people. Now, this is not everybody's experience. I'm not saying it's everybody's experience, but for me, um, the industry that I have worked in, I understand what it, how it feels to be treated, just based off how you look. Not people getting to know you or trying to get to know the type of person you are, but they'll take a look at you and be like, okay, I know who this person is. I want to treat them according to that instead of taking time to get to know you. Because here's the thing: when you get to know people, you get to know who they really are. I can't base who you are based off your skin color. I can't base who you are based off you're female, you're male. I can't base off any stereotypes that I see portrayed in media or sometimes in the books that we read, on the literature, online, so social media. I have to really sit down and get to know you because it just exit out, it counts out those stereotypes that are out there. So the experience I had last year um, was just kind of just one of those experiences where it really just did it for me because I did not want to be part of an environment where I don't feel like I can be myself, truly me. And I don't like that I have to keep proving things to people. And I do understand the country I am in. I understand the history of my race, my necessity. Oh, I can't even say the word. I'm gonna scratch that. My descent. I say that. I understand the history behind it, and I know that not everybody is open to people of other races, and because that could just be based off what they have been taught. But even just going through that experience I had on last year, and it's not the first experience I have, it made me just realize that either I'm going to bow down to what people think about me, or I'm going to take in what God has said about me. Because, it's an important thing to know who you are. It's important to base who you are on a healthy and whole foundation. For me, I prefer to base who I am based off God's word. That's me. Because He's the one that created me, not this world. That He's the one that created me. He's the one decided that I need to be on this earth. He the one decided that I need to be put in black skin and be a female. So I'm a black woman. He wants me to be a black woman in this earth, regardless of how this earth has went on and events that taken place. Because if whether you believe this or not, which I hope you do believe, is that regardless of what's going on in this world, you can still live a prosperous, successful, and peaceful life, regardless of what's going on. See, that's where faith comes in for me, that I have to see, beyond what's going on around me. That I have to see beyond the stereotypes and the labels, and knowing that God, that He has a plan for me, regardless of how I have been treated in the past, regardless of just the misunderstandings that have taken my place, that He still has like this great plan for me. So even just walking through this life and going through this life, I pray that you just sit down and just to really think about how you receive these stereotypes and labels. Because let's just say this: about good, I would say 95% of us, or just even I say 100% of us, we have been labeled or been treated based off stereotype at least at one point in our life. And this is not just to Black people. This is to every race, every descent out there. That there has been somebody that have looked at them and say, hey, they this, and that, without even going to them to get to know them. So we have experienced this, but when we experience those type of people, those type of encounters, we have to make a choice right then and there that, hey, I'm not going to allow that to direct how my life is going to be. I'm not going to just make myself low or small, just make them feel good about them or make prove them right about the stereotype they base me off on. That's not how I need to be. And what we need to do ourselves is hold ourselves accountable and make sure we're not judging people based off that. Because I know how easy it is to do. If you have been hurt by someone that is of different race, we are man, I think the whole race is like that. And I do understand how we get to that point. But it's not fair to the other person, which I'm learning myself. It's not fair to a person that I treat them based on what someone else had did to me. So this is my just little chit chat list today about labels and stereotypes. It's never good to be labeled. It never feels good to be based on stereotype. But we can choose not to allow that to rule our life, and we also can choose not to do that to someone else. That this is, accountability, responsibility go both ways. So y'all be good.